link in bio. You feel me? Like the link in bio be working.
Man. But we got part two today.
Yeah.
This is our second time trying to shoot, but appreciate the opportunity once again. And today we want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Floyd Johnson.
And Floyd Johnson, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are inside of the location that we had the pop up shop for. I love the aesthetic. I love the way you had everything set up.
Yeah.
But just go ahead and tell the people who are you and what exactly do you do?
First, shout out to Erica at Paul's. She's the one who helped us with the floral arrangements. Her shop is on Short Vine and Clifton, but she was able to supply us all the greenery to give us kind of like the jungle feel. So she did it last minute, and that was another thing that was really important for me. To do this, produce this was on a short notice. So I had to work with a lot of community partners to help. Thanks to Cincy Nice for allowing us to use the space. Good Fulfillment had did the print job in a matter of 4-day turnaround. So they was able to help make this happen as well. So, oh yeah, for me, my name is Floyd Johnson. I'm an entrepreneur, born and raised in Cincinnati, and a citizen of the world. Yeah.
What exactly is Ohio Against the World, and how did you guys get started?
Yeah, Ohio Against the World is like a battle cry. I think for so long we were kind of been the underdogs, but now we're like top cats. So it's always about representing where you're from, and also having pride in that, but also having that warrior story of overcoming anything.
Absolutely. And how long have you been an entrepreneur for? How did your entrepreneurial career start?
I've been an entrepreneur all my life, from my grandfather to my father, who had a screen printing company, and he started printing t-shirts in our basement. So that always gave me the utility to kind of create my own t-shirts, which I always thought was a way of self-expression. So I just always made my own t-shirts. And one of my homies, James, his little brother, Vari, had drew up our first graphic. But before that, I was like bootlegging CDs in high school, throwing paint on clothes, rhinestones. We was in a different era back then, but it was a vibe. So I was always supported by people in my city. So that helped me kind of go with my creativity. So.
Speaking of support in the city, which
Yeah.
I've seen so much of,
Yeah.
how do you think that's elevated the business and even you as a person?
Oh, I think the community is a business, and yeah, the community, this is bigger than just like a person. This is a whole representation of a place, that doesn't, it's in the middle of America, but we still have like a lot of creatives here, a lot of opportunity here. So as a way to, kind of put on for where I'm from. Yeah, this is my first interview off of my Colorado different, being elevated, just a rebirth,
Mm-hmm. Talk about the rebirth.
Oh, the rebirth?
Yeah. That transition to Colorado.
Oh yeah. The transition was awesome because I got into like stoicism, like philosophy, right when the pandemic hit. So that kind of like prohibited me from moving back because it was just like, all right, I'm already out here. So I arrived at a place in life where I wanted to kind of redefine myself, set new goals, test boundaries of self, physically, mentally. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I didn't, you learn your power by exercising. So.
How long do you feel like you've been exercising for, and what's
Oh man, I've been on a journey.
what's that goal like?
I went out to Colorado, and is where the UFC started at, I believe. So I had started doing some gyms with MMA, striking class, nothing too major, but I really want to get into jiu-jitsu. But I just had arrived at a place of like, I live in this body. What can I do with it? So then I started training with a soccer coach to get my mobility together. Strength and conditioning with my coach Jason out in Colorado. He just transformed his garage into a gym, and he has a huge cane course. So if you ever see me posting on IG, but Kobe is the homie. But yeah, just going through different types of physical activity. It builds character, but it also builds mental toughness. Uh, and having that dexterity to push through it, I think that's what I really want to resonate through that peril.
Do you think you had a change in designer creativity since you've been on the cover?
I think environment plays a lot. It changes a lot. I don't think I'm the same person I was 10 minutes ago and not the same person like 20 minutes ago. It's all based off of idea, uh, inspiration, um, environment. So, nah, I definitely grown.
Do you remember the first time you made some apparel or the age? What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It was like in my English class, I had a project. You tell your future. And mine was to do a clothing collection, and we didn't really have those outlets here in Cincinnati. So we're in Ohio to kind of have those resources to create. So I just start, just drawing stuff, and I think that was my first time. And then bringing things to fruition. High school, I think that helped. Just seeing like what was in Vibe magazine, or we didn't have an internet, so it was seeing what like people was wearing on BET. And I always love that high end meets low end kind of approach. So
Have you always been a creative person?
I don't know if I'm really, and not to talk down on myself. I don't really know if I'm a creative person because that can be subjective to so many other people. For me, I just kind of like have ideas and I manifest them and I bring them into this reality. So if that's a creation, I got two hands of God. So that left hand and the right hand. So
Do you feel like you manifested Ohio West William?
I believe so. Yeah, based off of creativity and based off of inspiration and kind of putting on for our city and for our state. So it's different. You feel me?
What are your before and current inspirations in the fashion world?
Oh, I like Rick Owens. I like his aesthetic. I like more but less. Uh, he has a quote that says, "Go to the gym more, buy less clothes." You feel me? So I like his philosophy. Not too many because I haven't really been into that world for a while. So I love what Hood by Air was doing. Um, but yep, sure.
Where do you see OATW in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think growing, having its own facility, kind of like when you think about these brands and things that happens, you from the end consumer, it's just like we get a T-shirt, but it's so many moving parts. It's numbers, it's projecting, it's having inventory to meet demand. It's also too about fulfillment and warehouse. So I really want to reestablish, uh, having better customer service, but also to having, understanding how to make everything work cohesively. So definitely growing in a lot of directions in business. I'm back in school, so finishing up my associate's degree. And
Oh,
yeah, but when you find these hurdles, it's kind of like you want to meet them head on. And sometimes you don't have those tools. So kind of taking a break, stepping back, and getting education on about how things work. So
the future and
sure.
things about the next step. I noticed, I don't
Yeah,
know if this is correct, correct me if I'm wrong, but I
sure.
haven't seen any collabs.
Oh yeah, I definitely
What's the
yeah.
next collab? Who
Uh,
would you like to collab with in the future?
Black Owned is one company I love to collaborate with.
Okay.
Um, Collaborate with more artists in the city. Restaurant collaborations is something that's been on my plate for a while. Just kind of negotiating with some restaurants here locally, but do some limited edition merch for the restaurants. Just help other companies and businesses kind of like develop marketing. In that capacity through doing collaborations. Grippos is another company. Cincinnati Reds. Even in Cleveland, Ohio State University has always kind of been uh, a dream collaboration. LeBron James also too, and just other up and coming athletes in the city and the states of Ohio. So
You heard it here first, folks. Just
yeah,
letting y'all know that you heard it here first. Oh, I know
yeah.
what I wanted to ask you about the
What's
moving
up?
parts.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
do you feel like those moving parts are as important as having team members? And then
Oh,
what's your
sure,
current team look like?
sure.
And shout them out too.
It's definitely important to have the right people to put into position to help because you don't know. You think you know everything, but you don't know everything. But you try to do everything. So kind of like stepping back and seeing what your weaknesses are. But um, it all goes with a team from understanding the financial part of it to understanding the production part. So up until now, I've been kind of like the only person doing, all of these different moving parts. So if you guys have a delay in shipment, I'm a small business owner. Uh, you know, we it takes a team, it takes a village. So the support is definitely there. So I definitely have an interest in kind of bringing more people on board to help spread the message. So.
And how can people reach out to you?
Instagram at Floyd from Ohio. I guess Facebook Floyd Johnson. So yeah, those are my outlets for social.
Without using Cincinnati against the world,
Sure.
what are 5 words that you use to describe the player?
Resilient. Um, Bold, empowering, uh, heritage. Oh, how many more we got? One more. Community. Is that
It's
done?
a wrap. He
Perfect.
just killed this. This man just
Was
killed
it?
this.
I
Woo!
mean,